for our 6th game of the day. Man, we're mowing through them today. So many 5-0s in Europe. And that brings up an interesting point that I'd like to touch on before we go too heavy into this draft.
Yeah.
I feel like Europe is in a very heavy rebuilding phase. I feel like after North America won LAN with 2 players in the top 4 and South America claimed the 3rd spot in the top 4, only Impact being the team that survived through into that top 4, I feel like a lot of the rest of Europe was left shook. And there's a lot of inconsistencies in their play right now.
Yeah.
Of course, we have the consistencies in Hyped, as well as Dolos and Impact, but all of the other 5 teams look so questionable.
The question I have about, for YouChoose and Unlucky, it's been their drafts. Their drafts have been really questionable, and that just... It really hinders their ability to execute when the draft is so weak. So for these 2 teams that have both struggled in the draft phase of the game, I'm really curious how they go about blocking this out. Oldor and Iva going to be the 2 first restrictions coming out, and we see Pearl on YouChoose coming out. So Pearl we saw in their first game, and then Blossom on the side of Unlucky.
I wonder if we're going to see Verosk play Jade again. I wonder, okay, we're seeing the Rygon. I wonder if we'll see Ashka. I feel like Ashka's pretty good here against both the Blossom and the Varesh. I like the Volcano, especially with the Volcano Battlerite that gives a larger AoE. The Jade and the Iva ban out, so I have no doubt in my mind that we'll see something like an Ashka now.
Yeah.
Especially without those 2 characters. I can't think of any other character. Interesting, okay.
Destiny, all right.
Interesting. This is not something that we've seen Throat Puncher play all that often, and I'm not sure how it's quite going to do in this match. Of course, it has some of the same strengths that Ashka does against the Varesh. It has the wall, the Destiny Plasma wall. It's just like the firewall. It blocks out the projectiles of Varesh and kind of shuts him out for a couple seconds. You also have the big AoE that is placed under an enemy character from your counter being procced, which doesn't proc Varesh's counter, which is one of the big things you want to look out for when you're playing Varesh.
Yeah,
so it does. I do see some strengths. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
I do like the Bako ban coming out from YouChoose after that. You have the Rygon. You don't want to play against Bako as a Rygon.
Yeah.
He will just push you out on that. So that was a good pick by them. And Thorn is kind of the obvious next choice for Unlucky. So I do like this draft from Unlucky. Thorn, Varesh, and Blossom. It's going to be very, little more defensive than YouChoose. I think YouChoose can really benefit from just kind of going all in. Destiny has so much in her kit to be aggressive and to get out, very mobile character. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. The Pearl is a big question mark for me. It makes sense that they banned out the Bako, like you mentioned. I especially like it because of the Pearl aspect, too. Once Pearl dives, of course, you don't really have a way to get out of the AoE that is Bako's space, his stomp, and also the ulti can just kind of eat you alive if you're a Pearl. So very smart ban on the Bako. The Thorn, though, it kind of presents the same problems, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't dodge the burrow once you've dove. You can't get out of the dead roots. Just so many problems for this Pearl, and this is the kind of thing that you run into when you have somebody that specializes in playing 1 or 2 characters.
Yeah.
The enemies know what you're going to bring to the table, and they will inevitably draft around it, and especially with the Varesh pick, I feel like Unlucky has just done such a good job drafting around this Pearl that I'm a little bit concerned for YouChoose.
Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate if YouChoose can't fight their way out of this just because, starting with a disadvantage already, they've lost 2 games today, and they're going to be again against 2 really strong teams. This is, I think, that their best chance to get a win on the table and try to recover in back this season.
Yeah, absolutely. If they lose this game and they are already at -2 from rescheduling, I feel like it's all but over.
Yeah.
That you are guaranteed 4th seed, which is a place no team wants to be in. So they desperately need this win, and they're already set out at such a disadvantage. The drafting phase just went so far in favor of Unlucky. It's so scary if you're a fan of YouChoose.
Really is, and I like on the side of Unlucky, would like to see them get a little lucky as well. I want to see both of these teams. I want to see both of these teams kind of prosper. I want to see them recover, just because both of these guys have played against the top 2 teams a bunch now, and it's been kind of very clear that there's a gap there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And right here, I'm not saying that there is a gap, but again, this just goes to show you that we might see again the game was won in the draft.
Yeah, there definitely is a gap though.
Yeah.
Like there is a huge gap between 1st to 2nd seed and 3rd and 4th seed in the Group B. You see at the top there's Team Hyped and there's Impact, and down at the bottom there are Unlucky and YouChoose. And these teams, because of that, are kind of fighting with each other for relegation. If either of these teams lose, they risk falling out of BPL, and they'll have to play to stay in the BPL because the last seed of the group has to play against teams that from the open qualifier bracket that is the Rising Stars.
And we've seen some Rising Stars teams play pretty well against these BPL squads. squads
in
North America. So
yeah.
I don't doubt that the depth is the same, if not somewhat similar, in Europe.
Yeah, and maybe in some ways it's kind of like a change of guards. A lot of these players on the side of YouChoose are old boys. Naraga, Condemned, and Throw Puncher have all been around since the early days of Battlerite, and they're having some really hard times right now. So I couldn't help but feel like I'd be concerned about some of the young blood in the Rising Stars coming up and playing against them.
Well, Unlucky and YouChoose going to fight to try to get back into contention for the decision round of BPL Season 2.
Of the Beeple.
Of the Beeple. Hot Beeple action. Look at all these people out here. They're excited to go, ready, clap and applaud, and they're like, let's go, we're ready, get in the arena, we want some blood.
They're so excited.
So excited.
So excited. As am I.
There is no blood in Battlerite, though, so you just get combos. We want combos.
We are a PG game. No blood allowed.
So already Corrupted trying to put some pressure on. He's going to try to go all in right now on Furyk. Actually backs out of it. That was going to be deadly had he not gotten out. Dragon's Palm sending Thorn straight up, but nothing able to be followed up just yet. But good positioning right now by YouChoose.
Great crush by Unlucky, and this is exactly how they need the early game to go. They need a more patient, slow early game so they can get to the point where they have the ultimates and they can just blow the game open with them. They've almost reached that point where Furyk is getting close to an ultimate. The pinball, though, is available, and Throw Puncher is getting right up in there. He blanks. He has that Dance of the Dryads, Jorby.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of damage. Throw Puncher he was getting a lot of good hits, and now Corrupted wanting to turn on that. Good job by YouChoose controlling mid, and Corrupted being smart about when he's aggressing and getting out, saving that Heavenly Strike for when he needs to get out just like that. But that one just a little less, excuse me, hairy of a situation.
Yeah, Furyk trying to get in there. That counter from Throw Puncher is going to be baited out. Furyk is now on that ultimate, that ever-important ability for the Varesh. We'll see if he finds anything on Naraga with it. The crush is there. Another EX ability used, and Unlucky get the third orb of the round.
Now Unlucky slowly turning this around in their favor. It's been back and forth. The fishies coming out. A big ult here for YouChoose. Can they make it happen? Oh, a lot of damage coming out on the Varesh. And he gets out of it, but not before he loses a ton of health.
The ultimates are on board, though. Unlucky sitting very close to all three. The only one without is Thorn. The Barbed Husk is used, going to put him even a little bit further away, but he burrows right back in. He wants to stay in the entangling roots, slowing the Rygon 2, and the pinball going to send Vrosk, Throat Puncher, into no man's land, and down at 2v3. This is looking kind of scary for YouChoose.
And that was a great job by Unlucky, blocking off the route of attack. Good play overall.
Nice.
And now
Furyk, he's in a little bit of trouble, Jorby.
Furyk has been in trouble for a while here. He gets Dragon Palmed out of the play and then fishied away. That's going to be into the Death Fog. That might be dangerous for him. He might go down here. Does get in. Varesh goes down. Thorn looking a little low, and YouChoose is looking strong right now.
Yeah, I don't mean to be that caster, but I feel like fundamentally Unlucky is misunderstanding how they need to play this game. Specifically Furyk using a lot of EX abilities, a lot of Crush, a lot of that EXM1 or EXM2, whichever of the two it is, that puts both debuffs on an enemy. I don't think that's what you want to be doing against the comp that YouChoose are playing. All of these three characters are so susceptible to getting bodied by your ultimate.
Yeah.
As a Varesh, I feel like especially with the Inspiration Battlerite, you want to just be playing like Dizzler was playing earlier.
Right.
We saw Dizzler in one round pop off 3 ultimates, and that's exactly how you kill this Pearl. That's exactly how you kill the Destiny when she doesn't have her space. That is how you need to play if you're the Varesh this game.
Corrupted playing super aggressive here at the start, getting some early damage.
Great combo. Corrupted absolutely getting like just destroyed, as you mentioned.
He lost his health.
Yeah.
Oh, and trying to find a way in. Unlucky playing this really well, but they do not get the first orb. YouChoose was able to confirm it. Furyk taking some damage, but Blossom able to keep him up for now.
Yeah, the Blossom doing a good job keeping his ally alive. The Imprisonment going to stun out the Thorn, but the return is the boom we want to Naraga. Things looking pretty equal here, but Condemned is starting to get chunked a little bit.
I like Throat Puncher on this Destiny. He's getting a lot of good damage, a lot of high value out of really everything that he's doing. Getting that damage off, he's just bullying this Thorn, silencing this Thorn out of everything, can't get anything going. Corrupted gonna go all in here, get a stun pushed against the wall, has to hop out, does, with support of the bubble shield. Got some damage out, but YouChoose is looking strong. This Destiny, Throat Puncher has a ton of health right now, and he can work with that easily.
Yeah, Throat Puncher, I think he needs to posture forward a little bit aggressively. One of the things Throat Puncher often does is sits a little bit far back, but with this HP that he has, maybe stepping forward and being the aggressor is ideal, and we see it here. Throat Puncher doing so much work against Furyk and Blanks in this 1v2.
Yeah, and Corrupted Naraga had Condemned pushed up to the corner. Could have probably aggressed on that a little bit as, Throat Puncher had both Varesh and Blossom kind of blocked out. So good positioning here by Yuchus. A lot of damage coming up by Throat Puncher. He's doing work right now against Furyk. Furyk doesn't really have an answer right now to Throat Puncher.
If they make Naraga dive, he might get burst down. Furyk, run to him. Furyk, run. He mounts up. He literally runs to him. Exactly what I wanted. He ran right onto the Pearl. He's going to hit all 4 jumps, and that's what you need to do. Unfortunately, I'm concerned it might be a little bit too late. They need to find the kill here on Corrupted or Throat Puncher if they want to stay in this round on the side of Unlucky, and they do find the kill. This 2v3 is looking very doable and very favorable even. The parry, though, not letting Corrupted go down. This 2v2 is still possible, but Blanks, he finds that EX space and gets that kill. I love that play from Furyk. That's what you need to do.
That was really solid recovery by Furyk, and then Corrupted hanging literally on the edge of the Death Fog. Couldn't get back in there. I don't think there's a way Pearl can fight back into this. Will go down, and
she's got that ulti. Oh, that counter not getting procced.
Look, don't make me so tense like that, man. You're like, but wait. I'm like, don't you put that evil on me.
Man, that's great play from Furyk, though. Like I mentioned, he needed to ulti the Pearl. He needed to run to her when she didn't have that dive.
Yeah.
Mounting up there was so smart. In the back of my mind, I was like, oh God, I wonder if he'll mount up here, or I wonder if that's like too heavy and committal. But he just like committed hard. He's like, I'm mounting, I'm sprinting, I want the Pearl.
Yeah.
And he got him. He got him on the back line and forced Yuchus into a very unfavorable place.
Yeah, definitely. A really solid play to get back into the game by Unlucky. Looking for a solid forward position, Yuchus. We've seen Throat Puncher get off a lot of solid damage. They got to be able to capitalize and get some more of these combos out.
Having the strike in, Corrupted. He's making his initiation.
He wants it, but now he has to get out quickly as Hand of Judgment and Shatter. They cause a lot of damage. Look, all his damage and all his health is gone.
Yeah, that's half of his HP gone in one burst, and that's Varesh for you. In a nutshell, that character will ruin you, and it continues. Corrupted. He's got that Hand of Judgment on him once again, and as a result, he cannot aggress. 5 seconds until this next orb, and Unlucky are poised to take it. Nice reflect, though.
Very good reflect. Throat Puncher getting some damage in against Furyk. Furyk losing a good bit of health. The Fishy gets out all right. Yuchus fighting back into this. Can they do something with it? Can they get the big damage out? There's the silence. They do get a good bit of damage onto Condemned, but it's not enough. The tree blocking their way in. Deadroot's coming out. A lot of coming onto Pearl. The counter's down. The bubble trying to protect her. Condemned can't get through. Trying to put some more pressure on the Burrows down. They can turn right back onto Condemned. They're going to get big damage out.
This is when they need
Corrupted.
to go.
Getting so much. They don't want to let up right here. Pearl blocking out the route of attack. Huge play by Yuchus.
That was their moment to get damage on Condemned. They get the end cap here, but I'm not sure it's enough. As Unlucky secure this second orb, the third of the round, but 2 going to Unlucky. And Furyk and co, that was their weakest moment. Yuchus, I don't think they capitalized enough. And now that things have stabilized for Unlucky, with this barbed husk and everything, I think Condemned is going to be okay. But he might get burst down. Condemned overcommitting, going so far from his Blossom. Blanks, he tried to drop the Forest Sanctuary, but he was just too far.
And Throat Puncher finishing it off with the ult, knocking him up and putting Condemned in death row. And now Furyk's in danger, trying to get away from this bubble. He can't silence that. A lot of damage coming out from Throat Puncher, just pummeling the pinballs in his face. In caps now, they can pull on the Blossom. Just more pressure onto Furyk. He has no answer for this. Condemned Corrupted. Pushing right onto him. Condemned is eliminated, and Varesh is going to go down as well. Yuchus coming back in a big way.
Yeah, Condemned kind of committing way too hard, going so far from his allies, misunderstanding the situation he was in. He thought he made it out of the gauntlet in that bottom left corner, so he felt indestructible, but boy, was he not. In that huge moment of weakness, overcommitting around all 3 members of Yuchus, he got ruined, and he just got punished for overplaying his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to find a way to get more pressure onto this Pearl, as you said early in this game. You put pressure on Pearl, you're going to force both Corrupted and Throat Puncher back, and that you have to force that Destiny back somehow. Throat Puncher's doing a ton of damage to Furyk, and Furyk cannot box this Destiny. Trying to get aggressive early as Condemned. Corrupt is going to respond, heavily striking in, and then bullying people away. He has the shield of support, able to get out, reset. Right now, Yuchus having this mid control. Can they get this orb, though?
Nice inhibitor's guard. Furyk doing a lot of work, making sure Condemned doesn't take any true HP. Yuchus, they get the orb, but they are so far behind already. 20% down in HP.
Corrupted, he likes to just take a lot of damage early, but I think the more health he loses, the more powerful he gets, because he actually ends up being really productive. This is the second time where we might see him dive in and do a ton of damage, waiting for an opportune chance to strike. He likes that early aggression, but I've seen it multiple times by him. Now he's playing a little bit back, so YouChoose getting another orb, huge for them.
Yeah, the Jorb going to YouChoose. 2-0 in terms of the score. That imprisonment keeping two players in on Unlucky. Things looking pretty good here, but Unlucky, they're still caught in this corner. The HP pools have equalized thanks to the green shards in the center orb, and now Unlucky are the ones on the back foot.
Corrupted wants to get in here, get some stuns, trying to get some more damage out. Not going to happen. Blossom actually forced back. Destiny now getting some pressure. A lot of damage coming out, but able to get out of it. A good fish, good ult, and this could be deadly now for Unlucky. The silence coming out. They weren't able to capitalize on damage there against Condemned.
That was a very, very good EX tree from Blanks, making sure Condemned didn't take the splash damage by placing it just a little bit further away from him, and also making sure he didn't take too much damage from that M2. Ultimate here, Dance of the Dryads, going to secure the first orb for Unlucky. Things are still looking pretty good for the red team, but a Dead Roots gets no value, unideal for sure.
Condemned fighting against this Destiny right now, taking a lot of damage.
Oh, God.
Corrupted realized that he's like, oh, I could come in here and help. Now he's in a little bit of an interesting spot, has to get out of this. He's surrounded by all three members of Unlucky. He has some support in the back, and he's just bullying everybody. No one's able to get damage on him. Finally, a silence comes out, but he gets the parry. Still, he's moving. No one's doing any damage to Corrupted right now. He's getting healed back up by Blossom. Finally gets out of it, and Destiny ends up going down. They weren't able to capitalize on any damage. Destiny and Blossom weren't able to do anything for Corrupted there.
I really love the way Unlucky played, and you mentioned it yourself. It seemed like YouChoose couldn't do all of that much for Corrupted and his Raigon, and that's one of the problems with Pearl. Pearl is very good. She excels at applying pressure, but what she does not have is a hard out. She does not have another side. She does not have a barrier.
Yeah.
She has a bubble shield, but that's literally half of the shielding of barrier, and it's on a 15-second cooldown, so it's not nearly comparable. So when Corrupted went in, I really, really love the choice from YouChoose to just go ham. They all turned back, and they went on Corrupted, recognizing they were like, hey, yo, that's a Pearl. That's not a Paloma. She's not going to be able to get out Corrupted from this situation. So they tunneled him, and it worked out. Very beautiful play from Unlucky.
And again, Corrupted just wanting to have this super aggressive playstyle, and we're seeing the same thing that kind of haunted them before, in that they don't have a follow-up, and that's just due, like you said, to their composition. But they have grabbed 2 games. It is tied up, so YouChoose has had some solid play so far. They've gotten good pressure. They've gotten good follow-ups, good coordination. Unlucky, just able to fight right back.
Yeah, nice knock-up by Corrupted. It's going to be his in. He gets a little bit of damage on his enemies, and more importantly, he buys space for YouChoose to get the orb, and he gets a nice disengage right when the Hand of Judgment lands onto him.
Yeah.
Very nice play to start this one off by Corrupted.
Well, Condemned might be in a little bit of trouble here. He keeps getting pushed back. He doesn't have the burrow just yet, but that regrowth and
Beautiful
the healing
knock-up.
and a good knock-up, like you just said, from Corrupted. Going to get out, but I think YouChoose ended up winning this one as they have mid-control and the orb.
Yeah, things did look okay for Unlucky. It could have been much worse because they got a nice chunk on Corrupted. He's going to pop off his ultimate now. The Inhibitor's Guard and all 3 players being in it, going to make it so not too much damage is done from it. A beautiful pull, bringing in Throat Puncher. Now he doesn't have that relocation ability. Going to have to play safe for a little while, but he pinballs in. He's like, what do you know? I want in. Throat Puncher, he goes in, gets a lot of damage.
Oh my goodness.
The silence lands. The Plasma Ball going to deal even more damage, but he's alive. That Inhibitor's Guard shield is massive, and it keeps Furyk in this round.
Corrupted doesn't care. He hops back out. Thorn tries to get in. Condemned wants to get damage, but
that
the
was
pinball wizard hits him right out of it. He's in capped. He's taking a ton of damage. Condemned wants to get out. Corrupted wants the kill. They're going to turn right onto Furyk. Furyk's going to get out of here. He tries to ult out. He's done. Good night. No, the Entangled actually saves him, and then Corrupted immediately turns on to Condemned. Condemned trying to get out of this. It doesn't matter. Corrupted just keeping the pressure up. Furyk doesn't have an answer for it. Destiny and Blossom just doing so much damage. Throat Punch, high score.
I am going to say it's going to take a miracle for Unlucky to come back into this, but I've seen crazier things. They're very split now, and Condemned has almost no HP. Blank's not getting hit by that M2. Throat Puncher with a rare miss is going to help out the red team a lot, but still, the HP pools are tiny.
Wow. Corrupted, please.
Yeah, Corrupted gonna
got the knock up and then went right through and just able to damage both of them. That was, good job.
Yeah, YouChoose taking that one. I feel like that round was completely over when Condemned used his Dead Roots, got 0 value out of it, and then he just got bopped by that imprisonment. There was a beautiful moment where you got very excited, where the imprisonment was there and the Destiny rolled into the Thorn, knocked him out, stunned him, and then the Pearl used her M1, got that splash silence. Just so much damage off such a small usage of an EX ability, really putting YouChoose in a dominant position in the end of that round.
Absolutely. Right now, you know, look, Unlucky, they have to learn to play some pinball, because right now, you know, Throat Puncher is the pinball master. So already putting early pressure on, and Corrupted hasn't even jumped in.
Okay, this is good. Naraga, his dive was forced because Condemn pulled him in. This is a good start, but Unlucky, they need to start posturing forward. The Thorn playing a little bit scared, going to just seed an orb, which is not ideal to start this one off.
No, and he loses his burrow in the process and losing some health on the retreat. YouChoose doing a good job just kind of hitting it right on the retreat, and now YouChoose still in mid-control, not able to get any damage on Throat Puncher. He is just popping off right now with all this damage. He does have his counter down, and Condemned wants to go in on it. Now he gets turned on, Corrupted turning on him, doing massive damage to him. He is getting absolutely annihilated here. Blossom tries to mitigate the damage. It doesn't really matter. Corrupted wants to go all in on it, and now they're boxed in. Throat Puncher went in, just did a ton of damage to Furyk, and now he's going to get the ball that might explode on him. He ends up getting out of it. The big ult, not able to get a lot of damage because of the shield from Pearl. Huge play by YouChoose, able to mitigate what could have been huge damage.
Yeah, that EXM1 from Throat Puncher doing so much. The ultimate from Naraga is going to be dodged thanks to the R of Furyk, but it doesn't matter, man. Condemned is dead. This one is all but over. YouChoose looking so strong now. Furyk not having any luck in the early phases of this game, and even when they start things off favorably with a nice pull onto the Pearl, they can't seem to find any momentum. Unlucky desperately need to find ways into getting the first orb, simply because energy is so important for them.
This was the YouChoose we saw against Impact in the early rounds. We saw them take 2 games against Impact, and this is how they looked. You know, just a smart play, knowing when to aggress, Corrupted picking and choosing his battles, and not being aggressive for the sake of being aggressive.
Yeah.
And so in this game, they're just executing it to perfection right now, and they're going to match point.
Yeah, and this is a perfect example about how drafts are not the end-all be-all.
Yeah.
I feel like Unlucky has the ideal, or one of, not ideal. They have a very good draft against what YouChoose is bringing to the table, but YouChoose is playing this so well, keeping Unlucky caught in that choke, getting the orbs early on because they recognize energy is so important for Unlucky, and they're just choking them out. And that's how you want to play against a comp that is focused and centered around ulting.
Yeah.
They need to ult to kill the Pearl, and they just aren't getting enough energy to ult.
Yeah. And immediately push back again. Throat Puncher wants some early damage against Furyk. That 1v1 is gone solely in the hands of Throat Puncher.
See, just look at this. Unlucky cannot get through that first choke. The next orb is spawning in 2 seconds. Furyk, he's trying desperately to step forward, but he just now has energy for Crush. The orb is so far away, he has no hope of getting it, and YouChoose, they've already got the ball rolling.
And Throat Puncher wants to go in on this. The wall just blocking out Furyk. This time Blanks, he's in a better position to heal. The fishies come out. Can they follow up on it? Not really in a position to do so, but the big damage comes out from Throat Puncher.
Yeah.
Again, Blanks able to mitigate it.
The Inhibitor's Guard is there. It negates a lot of the damage that would have come out onto the Condemned, but Furyk is now taking quite a bit himself. YouChoose, they don't get that second orb. Unlucky, this is their opening, Jorby.
Corrupted trying to push through. Throat Puncher right behind him with the support. Big damage coming out on the Furyk. Furyk needs to get healed up somehow, but he's not going to get it. He's going to get damaged. Now he's going to ult through. Try to get through. He only gets 1 ult and then gets out.
He gets all 4. All 4 hits land. 2 onto Corrupted, 2 onto Naraga, but it wasn't quite enough. They're still both relatively healthy, and YouChoose pick up the second orb. They used a lot of energy on the side of Unlucky and didn't get the desired result. The round might fall apart here as a result.
The health disparity is starting to grow for Unlucky. They got to find a way in. They got to find a way to pull the combo. They all have, or at least 2 of them have energy, ult energy, if you will, but push back, looking for an in. Maybe a solid Dead Roots can change the flow of this game for Condemned, waiting for an opportunity. They can't, they did actually get that orb, and the Dead Roots comes out to get nothing.
Yep, YouChoose. They're posting up, trying to get the center orb. The HP pools have equalized to some extent. Unlucky, they're postured just to get this next orb, looking like they might be able to as well, as the center of the map is getting smaller and smaller. Things getting pretty tense. The Jaws comes out. Naraga throwing the Varesh out into no man's land, or not the Varesh, but rather Condemned. Things looking so good here as the Blossom goes down on the other side of the fight. Unlucky, not looking so good for him.
Yeah, and that's going to be it there. Furyk can't get through. YouChoose is going to win this game against Unlucky, who just had a strong start. Unlucky had a strong start, and we thought that that's what would happen because of the draft. And then YouChoose just balled out perfectly. Again, picking and choosing their battles. Corrupted in those early rounds, not being overly in those early rounds, was aggressive, kind of pulled off on the aggression and picked and choose. He's like, okay, let's do it now. Let's coordinate now. We have our cooldowns ready. Let's go. And then back out, saving all of those heavenly strikes for those escapes and only aggressing when it made sense.
Yeah, Naraga positioned very, very well. So rare was it that the Unlucky could find a strong punish on him simply because of how well he was positioning. Oftentimes against Thorn, you see not a Blossom, but a Pearl rather, get pulled in and put into these precarious situations. It seems so rare that Naraga had that happen simply because he was always so far back, but still within range to have a nice effect on his team and how they were playing.
Yeah.
So Naraga showing mastery of the Pearl, flexing with that gold score, and overall, Yuchu is just playing very well.
Flex your guns, you choose. You got the win. Congratulations to you. That was solid play, and again, they have that was a really crucial win for them. They did not want.
Yeah, that was big.
0-3 would have been the death knell for them. So going 1-2 today, you at least were able to stymie the bleeding, stop the wound, shut it close,
Yep.
and now you can just reset.